Hello, good afternoon, good morning, who is not in European time zone. Um, Here we are. Thank you for joining our webinars. Today, we will be talking about scaling personalized campaigns and how to build the successful strategies from global to local teams. VISEVEN and our guest will be showing our experience and sharing our recipes. So today with us, please meet Jean-François Delas, who is Chief Customer Experience Officer in VISEVEN. We have an honor to welcome our guest, Hana Nendl, Global Digital and Omnichannel Lead in Nestlé Health Science, and the expert and head of Omnichannel Multichannel Excellence Department in VISEVEN, Pavel Klymenko. Yes, welcome to the stage, and as well myself, Nataliya Andreychuk. Jean-François, up to you. Please share your experience and how, a word about yourself. How can you treat this omni-channel excellence?
Thank you very much, Nataliya, and hi everybody. Very nice to be here on this webinar. So my job at VISEVEN is to help our clients indeed to deploy personalized year campaign at scale, global to year to local, through process, through your template solutions, capabilities, and support. And prior joining your VISEVEN, I got many years in the life sciences industry in many different contexts and global roles in digital and omnichannel transformation. And again, very pleased to be here and to be able to exchange with all of you.
Excellent, thank you. Hana, up to you.
Thank you, Nataliya. Hello, everyone. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the VISEVEN team for inviting me to participate in this webinar. It's truly an honor. I'm Hana Nendl, and I lead the global digital, multi-channel, and omnichannel strategy tailored to the maturity levels of various markets in Nestlé Health Science. My responsibilities encompass not only the strategy development and capability building, but I'm also leading B2B Digital Center of Excellence as an operational and executional support for the markets, which I have built together with VISEVEN as a trusted partner. In terms of my professional background, I have over 15 years of experience in the first pharmaceutical and life science industry, during which I have held local, regional, and global positions across traditional marketing, digital, omnichannel, and commercial excellence areas.
Hana, thank you and welcome. Amazing experience. And we are welcoming our next speaker, Pavel Klymenko. Pasha, please tell us about your experience.
Yeah, hello colleagues, nice to be here and see you all. And it was in our event. So my name is Pavel Klymenko. I'm a head of omnichannel and multi-channel excellence in the VISEVEN company. So responsible for anything that is at least somehow related to omnichannel, to campaigns, to personalization, data related to this, and so on. That we'll talk within our webinar. In particular as well, I previously worked a lot with other industries like educational, e-commerce, FMCG, and so on. And currently, like about 6 years, working with Pharma and life science projects within VISEVEN.
Very nice, very nice. And here is me. Almost every time when we start in our webinars, it's no change in the title. It's me, Nataliya Andreychuk, CEO of VISEVEN, and one of co-founders. My most of the experience in omnichannel marketing and digital transformation stays with VISEVEN, which is 15 years, and I have almost 20 years in IT and services as a vendor. So very happy to make sure like we are making steps forward in that direction and bringing more value to our customers. So let us go through our conversation. There are a lot of things to cover today, and one of the main points we will be discussing is with the personalizing campaign at scale. We all know how difficult to bring the global strategy to affiliates. So how can we maintain deep personalizations in the brands, reaching at large, diverse audience? Jeff, do you have any recipes here?
I certainly have. And I will just start also with a pragmatic answer, which is referring to what you said in terms of this being difficult. And even if for sure everybody is dreaming of this, your one-to-one, your deep personalization, in most of the cases, that will be a journey with this being the end goal. But I guess where we can really start and make a real change is through deep and genuine understanding of your target customers. And this is far beyond, as we know, of the traditional your segmentation using some form of potential. It will indeed include what many now obviously are doing, and most are doing around having good insight on behaviors and attitude of your customers. That will allow you to really focus your investment versus the one that you need to you convince versus harvest and leverage the advocacy. But you also need to go your deeper and get some insight in terms of the affinity of your customers and your persona with the content and the topic which are of most interest to them, because that will also allow you in a very practical terms to craft the messaging that will best resonate with them. And then your last and not least also as we know, insight into the preferences and needs of your customers in terms of the way they prefer to interact with you. So that is key. And my last point here in terms of the recipe is that this is very much meant to be a dynamic your process. We need to make sure that along the way we can capture your insight and feedback from every interaction and touch point we have with the customers to continually learn. You complement what we know of the customers and use this to obviously your progress and truly just your personalize and shape the adoption of our customers.
That's definitely a huge effort to craft together with affiliates and to make all these changes in this dynamic environment. Hana, at the scale of large organization, what is your experience with that?
Yeah, and first of all, I completely agree with JF's points. I think brands can maintain deep personalization while reaching a large, diverse audience of HCPs by leveraging segmentation and micro-segmentation, data-driven insights, and an omnichannel approach. Segmenting HCPs into smaller, specific groups based on criteria such as specialty, practice size, geographic location, patient demographics, that all allows for more tailored messaging. Utilizing dynamic content that adapts in real time based on HTTP profiles and or behavior ensures personalizing engagement and consistent personalized messages across all touch points, including emails, webinars, professional social networks, medical conferences. It helps maintain a cohesive experience. Another important aspect is continuously gathering and analyzing feedback from HCPs, as it will refine personalization strategies, ensuring the brand remains relevant and responsive to evolving preferences and needs. And of course, ensuring compliance with the industry regulations and collaborating with the key opinion leaders further enhances personalized communication, fostering meaningful relationship with HCPs.
That's totally true. Agree with every word. And this is absolutely leading us to our next point in this discussion, because continuously maintaining these feedbacks from the larger audience means that data becomes crucial at this point. And so, Pablo, what data and analytics are most critical for driving personalization at scale? What is your feedback in here?
Yeah, thank you, Natalia. I think, first of all, we need to bear in mind that it's not like crucial. It's really like the core of everything, because without the data, you will personalize based on what? Of course, you need to have a content, yeah, to show it, to convey to the audience, but you need this data that you will use in order to personalize this. So, and there are always two groups of data that you will work with. So first of all, is this really like the audience attributes, all this kind of stuff with the specialty, with the workplace, with the geography, and so on and so forth, that you know about them, who they are actually, like that you will start with always with this. But there is also another part of the data, another group of the data is behavioral data. So you always start with the first one, but the first category of data is not enriching so actively. And the second one, behavioral, is really you are getting the more and more this data while you are continue the conversation with the client. So their user, HCP, pharmacy, patient, depends on whom you are communicating to, visit your portal, open the email, get the messenger, have the visit, interact with the CLM presentation, and so on and so forth. You need to track all of this. You need to identify the user, and you need to gather all this data, process it, work with this, partially manual, but the more the data you have, the more automated it should be. And you really need to use this constantly growing volume of data in order to personalize all this kind of segmentation that colleagues previously talked to, bigger segmentation in sense of personas and so on, smaller segmentation in sense of level of task, all this micro segmentation, who is more involved, who is less involved, who visit our webinar, who did not visit our webinar, and you need to use it to personalize experience, because there is no approach that one size fits all, one content fits all. You really need to personalize it, and you have technology to do this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when we are talking about behavioral data. So when we have a combination of digital activities and in-person activities, I know there is an approach in Hana's team to get this as real-time data as a service. Hana, do you want to add on that?
Sure, and I agree to all Pablo's points about the driving personalization at scale and including demographic data and behavioral data, transactional data. But you're right, Nataliya. So to achieve this, it's important to have data as a service in the organization. We are capturing online and offline personal and non-personal touchpoints with HCPs, thanks to our fully integrated ecosystem, which enables a full 360-degree view of the HCP. And this approach empowers sales representatives or medical delegates, giving them the opportunity to personalize their engagement and have more informed conversations with the HCPs. And understanding these data points helps segment HCPs, tailor messages, predict future behavior, and align brand messages with professional motivations. This data-driven approach ensures communication is highly relevant, timely, and impactful, fostering stronger relationships with HCPs.
It's true. Relevant communication is the guarantee of the stronger relationships. That's very, very true. You know, this conversation is impossible without mentioning AI as any conversation today. So we quickly will be jumping into that pool. So how can AI and automation enhance personalization without sacrificing the human touch? Jeff, I think you are an expert in the human touch. So this might be, we will challenge you with this question.
with pleasure. And just referring to what we discussed before in terms of the crucial your need for data, also comes your complexity, how to make the most of this data, this data service, and this is where AI obviously will play a key role. I'm seeing you at high level your two ready use case. One is, again, just to reflect what Hana you were saying, is how can AI be used to augment the capabilities of the customer facing teams, but also the wider commercial your teams by providing them with relevant insight. And number two, which will come back after, it's about how can we just make the life of these commercial people easier, freeing up the time. So looking at your first one, which is about really augmenting the capabilities of the commercial team, that's really in terms of you're doing the work for them, in terms of you're letting them know from this data what might be useful information for them that they can use to, when they next interact with the customers in a simple way, what might be relevant, your topic to discuss, what might be relevant content, what channels they might want to consider when they interact with the customers, what would be the best timing for this. Quite a lot of things, which anyway would be very hard for a non-expert person to do with this breadth and depth of data that you have. And I guess one of the things which is still important in doing this is to explain, again, to take the time to explain how these rules does work to commercial people, because very often in the early day of AI or NBA, we saw quite a low percentage of adoption of recommendations, and a lot of this was because of the black box syndromes. You had no idea where this was coming from, and therefore, in fact, how should I use it or not? And therefore, most of the time, they were not used. So therefore, in fact, it's also a change management. Make sure that you help your teams to understand the value of these precious insights to make them even better. And then the latter one, as we said, use case is about just freeing up the time so that they can do what they're good at, which is about, again, interacting and providing value to their customers. And that means, taking whatever operational burden you can from them, sending emails on a behalf, or things like this, where AI are also a tremendous your potential.
Absolutely, freeing up time, bringing value of working with big massives of data in a very same, maybe annoying black box. Hannah, what do you think? So, is it worth to try?
Yeah, I believe AI and automation can enhance personalization by efficiently analyzing vast amounts of data to identify patterns and insights, delivering dynamic and relevant content, and ensuring consistent communication across multiple channels. AI-powered tools such as chatbots and recommendation engines provide instant and personalized responses and suggestions, while integrated systems offer a comprehensive 360-degree view of each HCP, as I mentioned earlier. This empowers sales reps with actionable insights, allowing them to focus on building deeper, more meaningful relationships. So while AI can handle many aspects of personalization, maintaining a human touch is essential for building trust and professional relationships. This can be achieved by ensuring that human representatives are available for high touch interactions, and by infusing personalized communications with empathy and understanding. In conclusion, personalizing campaigns at scale requires a strategic blend of data driven insights, advanced technology, and the commitment to maintaining a human touch. So, by leveraging segmentation, dynamic content, omnichannel approaches, AI driven tools, brands can effectively personalize their engagements with HCPs while reaching a diverse audience. And AI and all potential process optimization are, of course, hot topic in our company as well. We're exploring various AI-powered tools, primarily focusing on AI-driven content generation, both prompt-based and derived from existing materials, along with automated campaign-based content deployment tools that tailor delivery based on recipients' behavior and performance insights.
Yeah, that's true. We a part of this AI-driven channels orchestration. I would like to ask Pavlo, what are the other recipes or secrets of integration of various channels, including portals, to create seamless behavior-driven customer journeys? A part of AI, because I do agree, AI can really do all of that all, but a part of that, what is possible? Pablo, it's up to
Yep.
you to
Yeah,
answer.
yeah. Thank you, Natalia. I think here it's not like a secret, but more like a hard work that we need
Okay.
to put into it. So first of all, of course, we need to have this proper ecosystem in place, ecosystems that give us the ability to identify the user, all this customer identification access management opportunities, ecosystem in sense of marketing automation tools, CRM platform, uh, digital asset management for the content authoring, our call to action tool as well, and ideally also some CDP, customer data platform, that will help you to unify data and create one holistic profile with all this kind of 360-degree overview of the customer. So everything should be integrated, everything should really circulate across the ecosystem, because it's really in a modern world, it's almost impossible to do it like manually. So when you have like small amount of data, of course, you can do some of these spreadsheets back and forth, uploading, downloading, and so on. But when your data volume will grow, you only can do it like automatic way, for sure. And you need constantly work on this. And of course, not only implement the technology, but also to have this internal like change management, who will use it, how you will use it, how you will adopt it, how you will find the champions who will be first to implement it within their markets, and how you will share this experience and scale across all the markets. It's really a big question, I would say, because a lot of companies just buying the tools, but after that have no clue how to implement it, how to make benefit out of it.
I think we need to ask Hannah's opinion over there, because this is a little bit overlapping with the earlier comment on automation with AI. Hannah, don't you want to comment on that?
Sure. I would say we at the strategic level, we begin by defining our overarching strategy, objectives, desired outcomes, followed by outlining the technology landscape necessary to achieve these goals. So as we are digitally maturing, both from an organizational standpoint and in terms of our capabilities, as well as from a data and technology perspective, we are increasingly focused on customer centricity rather than solely on brands. And this shift emphasizes excelling in the quality of our voice rather than merely achieving a large share of voice. A key initial step is to establish an omnichannel strategy, which ensures consistent messaging and experiences across all channels by facilitating cross-functional coordination among marketing, sales, medical affairs, market access teams, and to create seamless behavior-driven customer journeys. As Paolo mentioned, CDP aggregates data from various touchpoints, including websites, emails, social media, webinars, into a single platform, providing a unified view of the customer. And additionally, behavioral tracking and analytics tools are utilized to monitor HTTP behavior across channels, enabling a deeper understanding of the HTTP journey and allowing us to tailor future interactions accordingly. And this comprehensive approach, combined with empowering sales reps with actionable insights, guarantees that our engagement with HTTPs is personalized and relevant and impactful.
It's a very structured approach, and CDP is very important aspect of it. We also have been talking earlier a lot about importance of behavioral insights, right? So what are the best practices, JF, in your opinion, for using behavioral insights for tailor multi-channel content? Do you have any specific recommendation over there?
Yes, yeah, I do. And again, when we talk about insight, you first and foremost, whatever it is not using insight for the sake of using insight, but you're looking at this question and saying, look, what would I need to know so that then you can work backwards and understand indeed which insight and which data will I want. And when you talk about personalization of content, you're more or less talking about two things. You are talking about the content itself, which will be a combination of the the topic that you want that will be most relevant to your audience. Also talking about whom might be best positioned to serve and suggest this content to your customers. Very often we have a narrow scope and looking only at what pharma can or life sciences company can provide, but out there also quite a lot of third-party trusted partners whom we need to you consider in a plan. But also content is also about format. So what will be the best your format based on the specific interaction that I want you to have with my customers and a context. We know that obviously HCPs are increasingly busy, and in this context, in fact, your format is also as important to consider as you would for the actual content and a topic. So content is first, but then this is about channels. Channels in a sense that how will you serve this content to your customers? How you'll get this content across, and you need to ensure here, in fact, to be personalized. That for sure it will align to the preferences and needs of your customers, but you also need to understand and make sure it's aligned with your customer engagement intent. Do you want to make a customer aware? Do you want to make a customer increasing the knowledge? Do you want to help them to leverage advocacy based on your need? Then also it will dictate a different way to share this content. You might also have obviously some financial ROI consideration, which we need to take into account. And last and not least, let's make sure also that in the spirit of customer experience, it's not just a push. Pull is so much important. So you need to be able to provide options to your target customers to be able to consume this great content in the best way possible.
That's an amazing answer. Thank you very much. Because within this format, conundrum and flexibility, which we are fighting in VISEVEN, providing the platform for it, we are trying to bring more flexibility, aren't we, to the customers? But we are back to the topic of measures. So, how do you measure the effectiveness of multi-channel campaigns across diverse customer touch points? So we have been discussing like the approach in general, but how exactly to measure the effectiveness? Pablo, maybe you will be starting first.
Yep, sure. Thank you, Natalia. So KPIs is always been holy grail, I would say, for pharma and life science. Everyone is struggling to have this comprehensive system, but we have no other choice but really we build the system, because just measuring something here and there and hope that it will be more holistically and so on will not work. So from the very beginning, you need to look at this as a system and try to build at least some comprehensive approach when you definitely will have several layers in it. So the first of all, everyone is thinking about this business KPI, all this prescription, sales, boosting loyalty, and so on. On the middle level, you need to have the campaigns level KPI, like tactical KPIs, using in most cases like MCQ, multi-channel equivalent score, or any kind of similar engagement scoring that you will give user more or less aggregated vision on the level of campaign, that you can compare different campaigns among themselves, see how tactically you're working, good you are, and so on. And of course, like in the lower level, you have this channel specific metrics, all this open rates, click rates, registration rate, attendance rate, and so on, that for most of the pharma, it's more or less okay within this third one. A lot of gaps, I would say, with the middle one. And everyone is, of course, just thinking how we need to get this boost in sales and so on. But to integrate it, everything, to have the proper dashboarding, to teach the markets and anybody, core stakeholders, how to use them, it's really the big deal. And I fully agree with Jeff that you don't need to start with just let's create any kind of analytics and some kind of dashboards, and after that think how we need to make use of it. You need to start with a question. What question you would like to have answers for? How good I am on this campaign? How good I am in conveying this specific key message or this leverage point? What is the cost per one touch point for me, for example? So you need to just list these questions, see what kind of data available for you, maybe tweak a little bit, most probably not a little bit, your data model, and after that build the dashboard. So dashboard is not the last, but not the first point. Start with your goals, start with the questions. Maybe you need to ask some key stakeholders like brand managers, for example, what kind of questions they seeking answers for.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, go with the realization.
It's a good point. That's a good point, Hana. What do you think about that? That's
I
really
agree.
good point.
I really agree with all of Pavlo's points. I think measuring the effectiveness of multi-channel or omni-channel campaigns across diverse customer touchpoints involves defining clear objectives and KPIs aligned with those objectives, such as conversion rates, engagement levels, and utilizing a unified analytics platform allows for the aggregation of data from all channels to provide a holistic view of campaign performance, which we have in Nestle Health Science in our omnichannel analytics dashboards. Monitoring behavioral metrics, collecting customer feedback through surveys, conducting A/B testing, further enhance insights into campaign effectiveness, and regular performance analysis and reporting, along with integration with CRM system, enable organizations to track interactions over time and optimize future strategies. And this comprehensive and data-driven approach ensures that campaigns are measured accurately and refined for maximum impact and relevance. And besides that, I would like to also highlight the MCQ model that Paulo has mentioned, which offers, in my opinion, several benefits for evaluating marketing effectiveness across various channels. It provides a holistic measurement and standardized evaluation, enabling consistent comparison of channel performance. By delivering insights into customer preferences, the MCQ model aids in informed budget allocation also, and performance optimization. So it helps organizations direct resources to the most effective channels. And additionally, it clarifies also attribution by highlighting each channel's contribution to marketing goals, fostering this data-driven decision-making and integrated strategies. So it enhances understanding of cross-channel interactions, facilitates benchmarking against industry standards, and supports a cohesive customer experience.
That's absolutely amazing because while we are really taking care about being relevant and tracking the performance of the most performing channels, I would like to lead us a little bit back into the beginning of our discussion and still bring a little bit more life from global to local and ask Jeff perhaps in the first place, what strategies ensure successful deployment of global campaigns with local relevance? So from the KPIs to the channel mix and now back to the global to local success.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for the question, because it's key. It's very also your dear you to me. It's also reflects quite a lot of experience I had in global or regional role, and however smart your solution might be, however smart your data could be, unless you have this good your dose of change management, then you might your hurt hit some barriers for local your adoption. So I've got a few tips which I guess are absolute key consideration when you work on this and you want to ensure local relevance of a global your plan. And the first one, again, they all I guess you make sense, but it's about your co-creation. You mustn't dream up your solution on your own. Involve the key stakeholders. Importantly, involve also the countries with whom you'll be expected to deploy the solution. When you talk about stakeholders so involved locally, I would also strongly advocate to involve customer-facing team. Very often, they will give you this reality check that you need. That something is not just you're smart, but not implementable. They will tell you black and white. So again, you do get people from you from the field. Make sure that again, in terms of doing this, people are very clear on a why, what's in it for me in details for each new function to get this buy-in. Very often also that we have the tendency all to start from scratch and reinvent the wheel versus in countries over there, surely you got lots of tested and proven good practice, good things which are being done. So how can you have visibility on this and then integrate it in your plan? And this way also you will create an empowerment and a buy-in from you from them. So this is very important. Make sure that here back to the data, as much as possible, you don't build a plan based on gut feel, but you base your plan based on facts and insight that you can that you will get. Or see, when we're talking about global to local, we all know that the local reality of market will be really different in terms of the ecosystem, the maturity, and the rest. So do make sure that you got flexibility in there so that you can accommodate the need of everyone. Make sure also that you don't wait for ages to have the perfect solution. Now we are in a world of agile, which means indeed your MVP, get it out, get some feedback, learn, iterate from this, and then through that your speed. Obviously, make sure that you keep you pragmatic. Again, you make sure that whatever you have is just sort of nice and shiny, but does work, is implementable. Simplicity also in this world. Avoid the complexity and the acronyms, because all of this are just barriers to adoption. And also make it easy for countries. Some countries also are struggling for resource, have multiple projects going on. So provide the also making it easy for them, provide support, and helping hands to take them through the journey. So yeah, in essence, they are a few of some of the key considerations which we need to keep in mind.
It's a lot of tips. Hannah, I know you live this in real life. It's your daily routine. Do you want to
Yeah,
add?
of course. So I think successful deployment of global campaigns with local relevance involves also several key strategies. First, conducting through uh, 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 just local market insights and research. I think it's essential to understand the unique needs and preferences and regulatory requirements of each market, including engaging with local HCPs to gain insights into their specific challenges and interests. Cultural sensitivity is crucial, as campaign messages must be tailored to align with local norms and values. Of course, ensuring that the content resonates with the target audience in each region. Additionally, developing localized content creation is important, which includes translating materials into local languages, adapting visuals, examples, and case studies to reflect local contexts. Um, Collaborating with local KOLs, with local medical associations, can also lend credibility and relevance to the campaigns, amplifying their reach and impact. I think finally, creating a flexible campaign framework allows for a consistent global message while enabling local customization. So ensuring that the core brand messages that they remain intact while meeting specific market needs. And employing these strategies guarantees that global campaigns are relevant and effective across diverse markets. And in order to secure global to local and also local to local content and campaign reutilization, in Nestle Health Science, we have established B2B Digital Center of Excellence with VISEVEN as a trusted partner. With B2B Digital COE, we are offering the market's full operational support for developing any type of digital content focused on HCPs. As well as campaign development and deployment and optimization if needed, all while taking consultative approach with the team from VISEVEN, who has really stellar experience in pharma industry and can offer a lot of insights and ensure our campaigns are executed following high industry standards and best practices.
Thank you, Hannah. That's amazing. Like this color brand needs while really meeting all the local expectations sounds like a dream, and I hope like we all will be able to deliver. So I want to be back to Jeff because something what he told cannot give me silence and peace. He told about MVPs and being flexible and means being agile. So, how can best practices then be standardized? And while we all allowing room for local flexibility, what about the standards, Jeff?
Yes, standard and local flexibility. So the first one I would start here, in fact, is to really understand which level and which degree of flexibility do you need, because, and again, the more you ground this on fact and insight, the better. I remember numerous cases of where you go and ask your countries, they will tell you, but yes, but we are different. But yes, we do it in the other way. Okay, let's look at data. let's look at fact. And in fact, you see that we have, in fact, much more common ground than what we believe. So again, user-centered, insight, fact-based your creation is important here. In fact, to define this degree of commonality that we have and the degree of flexibility that we need to accommodate. Again, you're part of this, as we discussed before. The way you will do this, you need to do this in a true collaborative manner to get this buy-in for sure. And in terms of the standards, for sure, when we talk about omnichannel content, we all know about modular, but modular to you, from my experience, is an absolutely key to provide this flexibility. How can you can build your own jigsaw from a collection of pieces that you have available? It will give you just a multitude of opportunities to meet your local needs. Then talking about campaign, we're talking about your canvas. So if you want again to think about global to local, how can you make sure that you also recognize the various your archetypes that you would find, so that you can provide again options you to countries to select. Again, make this also easy in a way that can be just adaptable, and you can change. Make sure also that you can also add your local component to it, because for very good reason you will always have might have a local need to accommodate. So this need to be catered for. Local flexibility also, to me, is about how can you provide also options to countries to use the right partner, implementation partner, because you can still work from the same SOP, from the same standard, but then it will be up to you to decide how do you want to implement. Do you want to implement with your preferred vendor locally? Do you want to implement yourself? Do you want to choose the global vendor or partner? So this is also very important. Again, we can all work from the same standard, but still have options in terms with whom we're going to work and with whom we are going to to deliver. And again, the last one is to keep explaining and training.
Explanation training, right? And then we are fighting all the resistance. Then something else is also very need to be explained, I think, in the more details. With Hana, you have been talking about reutilization of the campaigns, right? So then there is a very interesting question for you. How can an agile approach help teams to adopt and iterate quickly on the campaign results? In the sense, like reusing, reutilizing, we are flexible. How is it helpful?
I feel like it's a trick question, having an agile approach in a large corporation. But I think an agile approach enhances a team's ability to adapt and iterate quickly on campaign results by emphasizing continuous feedback loops, short iteration cycles, cross-functional collaboration. And I think by breaking down campaigns into smaller, more manageable phases or sprints, teams can launch, test, and refine campaign elements incrementally. And it, of course, making it easier to adapt based on real-time feedback and results. And this methodology promotes collaboration among, again, the functions that I was mentioning before: marketing, sales, medical, market access, ensuring that all perspectives are considered and enabling quick responses to any issues or opportunities that arise. I think rapid testing and feedback mechanisms such as A/B testing, real-time analytics, allow teams to evaluate the effectiveness of campaigns, elements, and make necessary adjustments. Agile practices also emphasize continuous improvement through regular retrospectives, enabling teams to assess the success of each phase and implement changes in subsequent iterations. And of course, the flexibility and responsiveness inherent in agile methodologies ensure that campaigns remain relevant in the face of changing market conditions and emerging trends. So empowering teams to make decisions and take ownership fosters a culture of accountability and innovation. allowing for rapid adaptation and iteration on campaign results. And by employing these strategies, pharma and life science companies can effectively deploy global campaigns that resonate with HCPs and achieve their objectives across diverse markets. So we in Nestle Health Science, we ensure that market leaders are actively piloting innovative campaigns, that they are piloting tools. I facilitate the sharing of best practices and the adoption of successful strategies from the other markets. While also organizing community calls to foster collaboration. And our culture in general emphasizes empowering markets to experiment, enabling them to learn from both successes and challenges.
This culture is very important, and that brings the entire organization up to speed. I may also ask the very same question to Pavlo, as from the technical perspective. What do you think? What is your opinion? How we can assure that the iterations between teams are agile and bring in the results? That
I think first of all we need to understand the difference between agile and chaos. To not like have everything like in chaos. I think we're agile, everything is fine. It's really something different, I would say. Yeah. So for me, agile in this manner is really when the team on local level, for example, regional level, whatever, is really can understand quickly what they need to do. Okay, my last campaigns had no success. What I need to do? I don't have any ideas how to move forward. What I need to do? So they need to really have this quick answers. Okay, I know that there is a global campaign that I can adapt. Okay, there are several use cases that I can utilize that I quickly refers to them, get some this like best practices and quickly adapt. Okay, here is an analytic dashboard that we discussed here. I can see the numbers there, and I can quickly adapt and change something that I'm doing and know exactly what at least next one or two next steps will be for me. And of course, in sense of technology and data, once again, going back to the question about not chaos, but agile, you need to have this ability to quickly grasp this understanding, what is going on, and how you need to tackle it. Because if you need to go through many tables, create some ticket for some IT services, guys, help me here, gather some big workshop in order to address things that should need to be addressed quickly, it will definitely not work for you.
Absolutely great. So that's the important thing, to have a real distinguish between chaos and agile. I do agree. So I remember times when we have been the first time implementing agile in VISEVEN. We were close to chaos, I would say. That's really an important thing. I hope we have some questions. Let us see if we do have questions, and if we have questions to answer together. Oh, we have really like a lot of questions. Like the first one we have for Hana. Hana, can you share how we can determine the level of personalization on our different target audiences want? So we do have a question for you, actually.
Sure. I think to determine the level of personalization that different target audiences desire, I think organizations can employ a systematic approach that includes conducting market research through surveys, through focus groups, and to gather this direct insight. Of course, analyzing customer data such as behavioral patterns, engagement metrics. It allows for effective audience segmentation, understanding of preferences. Of course, also leveraging segmentation elements from our CRM system, inputs from the sales reps, enhances also this understanding by providing real-world insights into customer interactions and needs. I was mentioning also earlier implementing A/B testing. It also helps assess the impact of varying levels of personalization, while also ongoing customer feedback provides valuable insight into experiences with personalizing content. Utilizing advanced analytics tools can predict also audience preferences based on past interactions, and engaging with the KOLs offer also context on emergent trends. And finally, I think creating detailed customer personas helps guide personalization strategies effectively. And with all the segmentation and personalization, organizations can more accurately address the information needs and channel preferences of their customers, ultimately enhancing engagement and fostering also stronger relationships.
That's true. That's so true. So thank you, Hannah. I want to read some very valuable comments as well from our public. We have Dr. Kenneth Sanchez who says, like, really that the organization should have a well-established capabilities, readiness, and change management. A lot of education is required. The fundamental question how to use those insights and how to respond to the customer beliefs and behaviors. Thank you, Kenneth. So that's so nice to have these comments. We have also the another question from the audience. Let us see the question from Augustine Ramirez. So it's Hannah, it's again to you. Which omni-channel effectiveness KPIs are the most important to your C-suite management? So if anyone want to help, Hannah, you can join after. So let's start.
Of course, and I think it comes at no surprise that it would be the customer satisfaction, and where are we in terms of the customer centricity because we are really trying to advance in our journey to omnichannel excellence, and then of course having the digital maturity and the maturity in terms of the data and technology in mind. Are we really customer centric, or are we still pushing brand messages or product messages? So I think capturing the feedback from the customers, are we addressing their information needs, their channel preferences? That's really important. And of course, we are a business, so we do need to see how our omnichannel campaigns also resonate in terms of impact on sales or impact on business results. And this here it comes into the picture, the MCQ model, how we are measuring it, what both Pablo and I were talking about when we were talking about a little bit more analytical KPI. So this is how we are measuring it. Hope that answers the question.
I hope so. So, like, we can see that the question was a very tricky and honest one, and we cannot see reaction, unfortunately. But we hope it has the answer. So, I can see the ROI question. So, JF, do you want to take it? So, how can we measure the ROI of localized campaigns when the goals differ from the global KPIs? Can we take this one?
We can indeed. You take this one, and I will start by you challenging the question itself, because I guess if you today is about talking about successful your global to local, one more time, we should look first at your common goals versus like a local campaign which is differing from the your global campaign, your goals. So it's important to make sure that for this we got some your global dashboard and global KPIs at high level, which will be just indicators, common denominators that you can use in any market, any country to measure things consistently, such as your engagement. You're right. No matter how you measure this in your country, the actual specific metrics that countries would use might be different, again, based on the ecosystem that you will use, based on the data that you have, but still, you can still try to quantify the same high-level metrics which then, as a global or regional team, you can use to compare and contrast, because this capability is also very important. It's all about, in a very useful way, to learn together. How can we spot people who are doing well so that we can learn from? How can we spot some of the gaps where people might need some help and enhancements? So again, I would just push to have first this global dashboard, global ground, still with different measurement at local level. And for sure, if in addition to this, in a country you have local objective, which will always happen, you can clearly complement this with your very own your KPIs, but which might not need to be reported to a global or regional team.
Yeah, that does help, because like we neither will be able, like to have all the complete answer. So the complete answer on this question, but now we know that it's very good. So with the last but not least in our list of question is perhaps to Pavlo. In your experience, what platforms are best for global and local teams to collaborate? It's very technical questions about from Irina. I didn't see the surname, but the questions definitely require some tech knowledge.
Yeah, thank you, Irina. Yeah, for the question, it's really, I would say, could be the broad one, because depending on what kind of collaboration we are talking about, in sense of the ecosystem that you need to have to be omnichannel. Of course, the crucial moment here is that the ecosystem should be ideally unified across organization, because like each market has different tools, different like data model and so on. It will be definitely this chaos that we already talked about. So it needs to be integrated. So in most cases, it should be like enterprise level platforms like Salesforce, Adobe, Oracle, whatever. So it's not so crucial to stick with some particular name. It's just crucial to be integrated, to have this like clear unified customer identification and the unified model for the data that you have for the ACPs and other audience attributes, and for the behavioral data that we already discussed. And you need also to have this collaboration in sense of how you sharing this knowledge, how you sharing this best practices. So it really could be like some storage that you have. It could be really some periodic meetings that you setting up in order to share this experience. It should be really some maybe place and best practices when someone is getting some knowledge, some insights, and after that sharing it within some analytical capability, within some really any kind of materials like presentation, video recorded, and so on. So just make sure that is recorded, that is stored, and that is available for the other colleagues that you are working with. So try to break silos, different storage, different these folders, different systems, different data, different dashboards, different teams. So silos create chaos for sure. In big organization, it's no doubt.
Thank you, Paulo. And we are exactly about at time to complete our nice conversation. I want to thank you, our speakers today, for these insights and for the experience shared. And I want to thank you, those who were participating silently, listening to our recipes, our tips of success. And I want to promise all of you more from us together, VISEVEN, and our customers, our guests of the channel. Please follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn and see more very valuable advice. Today we have shared a lot about relevancy of the information, about sharing, about change management, ROIs, metrics, and even AI. Haven't taken all the time of the discussion. Please follow us and see the next one. Thank you very much to all of you wish you a nice rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Bye.